Happy weekend, guys. Happy full moon and lunar eclipse weekend. All right. This weekend, people are going to be feeling a little irritable, sensitive. Listen, people are due to have mood swings this weekend. All right. So let's please make sure that we keep our feelings, like, think logically before you actually react. Because with the sun also being in Virgo, like, things can, like, people are due to be moody, irritable, sensitive, because also those full moon is in Pisces. So listen, might be lashing out this weekend because they might not be able to control their feelings. So let's just take note of that, guys, and make sure that we're keeping our feelings in check this weekend, and also just making sure that we're thinking before we're reacting, because I have a feeling, because it's going to be a lot of like energy this weekend and a lot of like feelings what people are carrying burdens around. People might not be able to control their emotions, that one in particular. Also, what else was I gonna say? I had something else in regards to this, but spirituality, your spirituality might be heightened this weekend, meaning your intuition might be heightened as well. All right. Also be careful what you think, because it could be a weekend where you're easily able to manifest your thoughts as well. Okay. And sometimes we have to be careful with that, depending on what it is. All right, so we're gonna do all signs, what to expect this weekend when it comes to the full moon and the eclipse. All right, the energy. We're gonna start with Aries. I'm gonna try to cut down. Listen, I have to shorten these videos, okay? I'm going to try to go as fast as possible with each sign, making it as quick as possible, all right? If I need to do something additional, I'm going to make a separate video, or just maybe go a little longer. All right, so what does Aries have to expect this weekend when it comes to this full moon and eclipse energy? Let me get one more. Okay. So far, I'm really liking your energy, Aries. I'm really liking it because you guys have the sun card here. Listen, this kind of just already goes into, I think, last weekend's message, all right? You guys are going into this beautiful rebirth at this time, and you guys are not caring what anybody thinks, all right? This weekend is going to be a really good weekend for you, Aries, because I feel like you're really going to be outside. You're going to be determined to, like, everything that you want to, anything that you want to do this weekend, you're going to make sure that you're doing it. You're crossing things off a list, and you just going down like, okay, I did this weekend. Oh, I did this week. You're going to feel very proud of yourself this weekend because you got a lot done. And now you can focus and sit back and relax. And also, like, if you do have your own place, or even if you stay in with people, all right, you're going to make sure that you get things done in your household, all right? I see you very determined to, like, do many things this weekend. And it's just like you're having a rebirth right now, Aries. So basically what I can technically say about this is that this full moon and eclipse energy is going to be, so it's going to heighten your intuition. You're possibly getting new gifts. I see here somebody in particular your gifts are going to be more heightened, like, and you might be getting some more additional gifts from the universe. You're getting blessings right now. All right. And you have new job opportunity here. I see here that somebody here definitely does have a new job opportunity. You might be looking to move. Somebody here is going to be traveling. You're looking to travel. All right. Whether that be going somewhere to make money or something of that nature. But I see here it's going to be a very beautiful weekend for you, Aries. And this full moon and eclipse energy is going to bring, like, it's going to be, I feel like September is just going to be a great month for you all in all. You got the awakening card, Aries. This was the advice, but you don't need no advice for nothing. What you need is a motivational message right now. All right? You don't care about nobody from your past right now. People are trying to, you will have people from your past trying to come in to try to convince you to step back into the toxic or the nonsense. And Aries, you're gonna be rejecting people. And I really don't think people are gonna like that, but they have no choice at this time. They don't have a choice. Because you know that you're starting to realize that you are. Listen, this is the community card, but I see here you are gaining like this big spark back. The flame that was removed by people blowing in it, you're getting it back. All right? I really like your message, Aries. Like, you guys are really out here healing and like doing your thing where you are worried about your own happiness. And with this full moon and eclipse energy, it's bringing nothing but blessings to you. You're gonna, with that sun card, you're gonna have more sun. You're gonna have more energy, and you're gonna have more things. Listen, you guys, I can't even say nothing more about you guys because it's kind of similar to the message that I already had for you in the past. I think it was past weekend. The last few reads I had for you guys were pretty good. All right. What is after Aries? Taurus. Taurus. What are you to expect for this weekend for the full moon and eclipse energy? Like, what are you to expect? How's your weekend going to be looking like? All right. What is Taurus to expect this weekend? Let me get one more. Taurus. So you guys have a 5-card spread here. It got a little longer than I wanted to, but that's because they just fell out and they started talking. All right. So you guys have the Ten of Swords here. Okay. You guys might have an air sign that you might be finding something out from an air sign, possibly. You might be communicating possibly with an air sign or finding something out in regards to either an air sign or an earth sign or both. All right. But I feel like here you might have a friend or somebody here that you possibly work with in some way, shape, or form that wants stability in their life. They've been trying to have stability in their life. However, they feel like blocked, or right now they feel like somebody is trying to come in between what they're creating. I don't know. There's something of that nature where they possibly they feel like things can get worse than what it already is when it comes to money. But I feel like this could be somebody else's issue that they're worried about, possibly. You got the Tower card here, all right? There's going to be like, this is something here where, like, does things come crumbling down, all right? They may be possibly going through a tower. I see here that possibly an air sign might be going through a tower, specifically a Gemini, or it could be an earth sign, all right? This is somebody here that's dependent on others to do things for them. And right now they feel very overwhelmed within themselves that I don't know if these two work together, or maybe they're together in some way, shape, or form, but they are trying to involve you in something, possibly. But you're seeing here that with your card, the Hierophant in the reverse, that you have your own beliefs when it comes to certain things, and I feel like you really trying to drift away from this situation, possibly, Taurus. All right? Or you're thinking about making a move that may not be something that you personally believe in, that you think it might be wrong, possibly, or right. Some way, shape, or form, Taurus, you might be confused this weekend. All right. There's going to be a lot of conflicting, chaotic energy around you, possibly. And the best advice is possibly not to get involved within this situation. And if you are involved with some type of situation here, I do believe that it has something to do with money. Some way, shape, or form, there's something with money. And let me find out here. See, this is why it's gonna be, I think, somebody's going through money issues, all right? And they might possibly come to you, possibly for help or to vent, all right? That's what I'm getting here. What else when it comes to this situation for Taurus? What does this even have to do with Taurus? Like, what does this even have to do with Taurus? Those ones wanted to come out. Oh, we have the karma card here. Something's got to be balanced out within a situation with people that you know, Taurus, possibly. And it has to do with money. Judge. Somebody's got to be... This may not be judge, all right, when it comes to, like, the physical judge. You might have to... Somebody here, I don't think it's you, Taurus. It may... But I don't know. Because roles could be reversed here. But I'm not feeling here that it could be in the reverse. Somebody here is going underneath judgment in regards to some type of karma. All right? What karma? What is this karma that has to do? I seen here the 1 month card. 1 month might be significant for you guys. Oh, your read. You might find something. Special agency. Somebody here might work for a special agency and maybe they didn't tell you that. This has to do in regards to something, all right, Taurus? What's the advice for Taurus this weekend, Spirit? What's the advice? What's the advice? I could go deeper, guys, but guess what? Listen, I'll do a read for you guys possibly tomorrow, okay, Taurus, or maybe later. Because I feel like now that I feel like I got to do one for you guys now that I got this weird message. I'm going to have to clarify a little bit more. Somebody here, though, is going to be going through a drastic change, and I believe it has to do in regards to an air or an earth sign or two people. And listen, the advice is to know your self-worth when it comes to dealing with outside people, all right? Stay within your own power this weekend and do not get involved with other people's bullshit, because I see here that they might try to involve you with something, Taurus, and it has to do within the air sign. The air sign card fell out, Taurus. All right, let me know. Listen, you're gonna find something out in regards to an air sign, and it's gonna create, it may trigger you or provide some type of conflict. They might come. I will do a read with you guys tomorrow, all right, to figure out what this conflict is, all right? But it has to do in regards to some type of decision that somebody made, possibly, because we had a decisions card. But listen, Spirit's advice is to know your self-worth when it comes to something, all right, to yourself. And to not get sucked into other people's bullshit. But listen, Taurus, if this has to do with you, you're going to have to try to figure it out on your own, all right? But I see here this might not have nothing to do with you, possibly. All right? So what's after Taurus? That is Gemini. Gemini. What are we to expect for this full moon and lunar eclipse weekend? What's the energy going to be like for you guys? What are you going to be getting yourself into for this weekend? What's Gemini going to be dealing with this weekend? How are they going to be? That one wanted to come out. You guys might be trying to manifest right now at this time, okay? However, I do see here, like, you guys are really trying to, like, do good with yourself with the Page of Pentacles. You guys are trying to create. So you might be manifesting this weekend during the full moon and eclipse. However, with the Queen of Swords here, you guys possibly, like, somebody here might be trying to influence you you might be dealing with either a Virgo or a Libra, or somebody here that's highly, as either a water sign or air sign you're going to be dealing with, that's going to be in your energy, that is, they're bitter over something. All right. This is somebody here that's pretty cold-hearted, and like, they show no emotion technically towards you. This might be somebody here that's in your energy, or somebody here that you're dealing with. And they might try to throw you off during this full moon while you're trying to manifest. All right. To cause imbalance, you got the Temperance here, the Temperance card in the reverse, to bring imbalance this weekend to you. This person deals with addictions, all right? Or maybe they are alcoholic. I think that while you're trying to manifest, you have somebody else that's either drinking or doing like other things. And they're overindulging too much, where they want, because they're on like imbalance, that they're going to try to throw you off and make you imbalanced, all right? I do see here it could also be in the reverse as well, Gemini. So please make sure this is not you, because I feel like here, because it's the full moon and lunar eclipse, you cannot do manifestations like while you're overindulging, all right? If you want to manifest the proper way, make sure that you are manifesting this full moon and lunar eclipse like healthy, okay? Healthy, I should say, without too much alcohol or overindulgence, all right? So just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're eating. And if you are overindulging, please make it to a minimum, because I see here somebody is trying to throw you back into a pattern that you tried very easy or very hard. It was very hard for you to try to get out of. And I feel like here it could really like make you imbalanced, not only during this weekend, but for the rest of the week. It's going to throw you off if you go through with this. All right. What's the advice for Gemini? Okay, those two just wanted to come out. Stay away from people that are going to project this weekend, Gemini, because I feel like you might have people that are in your energy this weekend that might be projecting. So Spirit wants you to know that please just, like, you got to be careful who you're around this weekend, because I feel here you really are trying to change. This is a change card, but people might be projecting. And you're going to have courage to go through with your actions, whether to like heal and like manifest this weekend and do the right thing. But you might have some people that are going to test you this weekend. All right. So just be careful. All right. What's after Gemini? Leo. No, Cancer. All right, Cancers. What are you to expect for this weekend during the full moon and the lunar eclipse? What is Cancers to expect for this weekend during the lunar eclipse and the full moon? Okay. What are you guys to expect this weekend? Let me get one more. You guys are going to be avoiding people this weekend, possibly. You guys have been dealing with a lot of conflict, all right? And it may not even be your conflict, but it might possibly be like things that you were dealing with, all right? That was in your energy, and you're trying to get away from that this weekend. Because you are well aware that when you have certain people around you, Cancer, that they throw you off. All right, you're technically just agreeing to disagree with people this weekend and just not even, you're doing your own thing this weekend. I don't think you're going to be around too many people. I think that you're just going to be minding your business. But if people come near you, all right, you might deal with them. But I feel like you're going to be just avoiding, because you know that during the full, I think you are smart enough to know that when there is a full moon or something going on astrologically or something like of that nature, or like a eclipse, that you know that it could throw energy off, and I feel like you're really just trying to avoid it. You might be working this weekend, all right? Your job, you're a very hard worker, and you are somebody here that carries a lot of load. So, but I do feel here that you're going to be inspired to like really just you're going to be really free spirited this weekend. You're going to try to discover things about yourself possibly that you don't know, or maybe that you take interest in certain things this weekend. You might go towards it, all right, with the Page of Wands, okay? But right, I feel like because you are trying to avoid conflict, you're just going to be on your own, and you might be doing things by yourself. Like if you do have a group of friends, you're not going to really be chilling with them this weekend. You're going to try to keep it to a minimum. I don't think you guys need any advice really. But let's see what else. Let's get one oracle on this. You guys might possibly feel rejected. And I feel like that's why you're trying to avoid conflict this weekend, Cancer. You may have went through losses and rejections recently. And I feel like you're going to be avoiding, and you might. What is this rejection? You want to communicate with somebody, Cancer, that possibly maybe you rejected, or maybe you feel rejected by this person. You might be traveling this weekend. I see here that you might be on an airplane this weekend or driving towards something. And it might be towards a person. It's somebody from your past. All right? Anyways. Cancer. Don't be in your feelings too much this weekend, all right? Because the full moon is in Pisces and you're a Cancer, so I do get it. You might be feeling a little, but I feel like you have that spark too. I feel like you're gonna try to take chances that you don't typically do, and you're gonna go towards somebody here, all right? Leo. What is Leo's to expect for this weekend during the full moon and eclipse? All right, Leo. What are you to expect this weekend? You guys might be hanging out with friends this weekend, Leo, all right? You might be hanging out. You might be coming together with a water sign, all right? And you're going to be very happy this weekend. I see here, like, you guys are going to try to be very balanced this weekend, okay? You might be working a little bit this weekend, but I feel like you're going to be working possibly this weekend, and most of the time you're going to be happy this weekend due to you loving work. Somebody here really likes work and finds a passion with work. And you're going to be connecting with friends, connecting with a partner if you have a partner, and just really making the most of your weekend. All right? You might possibly you may have went through like you may be somebody here that is trying to resist change. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing that here with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. You might be trying to resist change when it comes to having like the strength to go towards like something that you've been wanting for a while. And I feel like that has to do in regards to the way you've been making money. Like, yes, you love your job. You love the way, like, you love your job. Somebody here really is dedicated towards their job. And it may be a repetitive skill or job that you do all the time, but I feel like here you were kind of skeptical, Leo, when it comes to work. And you are like, you know that you could further your education or further like your job, and maybe do like something that somebody here does have some type of talent or hidden hobby that you hide from people. But I feel like this is something here that you are meant to be doing, Leo. you're gonna have, with the Knight of Wands, this energy that's coming through the full moon and the eclipse. It's gonna give you energy and passion and drive to go towards those things. So I would say for like the month of September, this energy is going to be possibly lingering with you. Not all Leos, but most of you. All right? You have the strength in the reverse. However, because that's due to self-doubt that you cannot do, like, somebody here does have a lot of self-doubt, and that could be from you being insecure, Leo. However, you're starting to lighten up and have like a soft heart. Leo, you do rule the heart. And I do see here that you're going to be more open to like love, compassion, drive, creating. This new moon is going to be very good for you, Leo. And I don't have any like advice, because if you continue having faith in something that you truly want, a passion, it has to do something with a passion or a hobby or the way you make money, go through with it, because I see here you will get a wish fulfillment here, and I feel like that has to do with money. All right, so if you are in the odds of like doing something and not doing something, having a lot of self-doubt, this full moon is going to push you into having that momentum, Leo, and going towards that. And I do see here that you will be reconnecting with a twin flame. Now, a lot of times, I don't really believe in a twin flame situation. I do, but however, if I believe in it, but I don't believe in it, and it's a certain extent that I believe in it. This could be somebody here that's a mirror, or somebody here that's truly the love of your life, that is a soulmate. Okay? All right? You'll be reconnecting with somebody if you've been apart from them. All right? Anyways, Leo, I see here this full moon is going to be very good for you. All right? We had we had the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Wish come true. Leo, this full moon's going to be great for you, okay? You might be getting a wish fulfillment because you've been working on yourself, and you should be proud of yourself for that as well, because you kept some type of faith here. All right? And you're going to start seeing change because of that faith. All right. Anyways, I'm sorry. I really like messages like that, so I could keep talking and talking when I see messages like that. All right, Virgo. What is this full moon and eclipse bringing you? All right? What is this energy going to be like for you this weekend? What is Virgo's got to look forward to this weekend from full moon and eclipse energy? I know my face is starting to tingle, guys, already. Virgo, you feel like you had to pick between the two or less evils, Virgo? Possibly, or somebody in your energy does, but I'm getting here it could be in the reverse as well. Somebody here is carrying a lot of burden due to something weird, okay? You're feeling very stressed this weekend because you might be going through conflict this weekend. There's a Virgo, it's not going to resonate for all Virgos, but I see here there's going to be a lot of tension here. You might work with people, or maybe you have no choice to be around family member or friends due to you making money. And I see here this weekend is going to bring some type of goddamn conflict for you. You might be having a lot of disagreements this weekend. Or if it's not you, you're seeing it from the outside. All right? And it's going to be stressing you out to the point where you feel like you have to release all of this pent up nonsense that you're holding something in, Virgo. And you feel like you're about to explode this weekend. And I need you guys to really relax. you might know something, Virgo, and I feel like you really need to pick between possibly like something here where you have received some type of information possibly, and it might be from somebody, or maybe you regain this information from yourself by doing it. Like, it's some type of information that you possibly have. This has to be resonating. My face is tingling. You either received some type of information, or you gathered information possibly, or maybe somebody did here. All right, if this is somebody here, it may possibly be an air sign, or maybe you're here, somebody here with air placements. But either way, this weekend is going to be drawing a lot of nonsense, and I feel like it has to do. What is the advice for Virgo when dealing with this energy? You're very stressed out. Your brain feels like it's about to explode. Somebody here is so stressed out that I feel like you got to make a decision when it comes to something, Virgo. Possibly. Somebody here is in fear. You might be feeling very guarded. And listen, this better not be you, Virgo, but I see it might not be. Control tactics here. What does this controlling tactics have to do with Virgo? What does this controlling behavior have to do with Virgo? What does this controlling behavior have to do with Virgo? We have Hex on the top. Somebody here is trying to show off, possibly. All right? I don't know. It has to do in regards to that. Somebody probably is showing off this weekend, and it better not be you, Virgo. But I want to see what this controlling behavior is. What is this control tactics? What is this controlling tactics for Virgo? What is this controlling tactics to Virgo? You got down low. You might find, you might be on a down low, Virgo, and you're gonna find something out in 1 week, and I don't know. This message is getting kind of conflicting here. Either way, I do see here that you have received some type of information, or you do have some information, and you're gonna have to choose to do something that's right, possibly, or something that's wrong. Either way, this weekend is going to be giving you it's bringing conflict. People are going to be bringing conflict, or you might be the conflict. All right, Libra. Libra, what are you to expect this full moon and eclipse energy this weekend? What are you to expect? What are you to expect this weekend? All right, we got the Four of Pentacles in the upright. So you guys, listen. You guys are gonna be feeling you might be depressed this weekend, Libra. I'm not even about to lie. I feel like here you might be like not feeling the best with your self-esteem this weekend. All right, and I feel like here, like it might be in regards to you and like money, possibly. Like you are somebody here, like you're trying to secure your money, all right, and you are trying to do things healthier with your money. But I feel like here, like, you are trying to save money, but also you do want to be able to spend your money, Libra. And I feel like because you're not able to do that, even though you're doing things the right way, it might be making you sad. You got the moon in the reverse, though. Yeah, you might be feeling insecure this weekend. And it might have to do in regards to your money. But that's because you're trying to save money, all right? You are trying to save money, and I feel like because you're trying to save money and do things right, you might not be able to do certain things this weekend. But you already know that though, because you're trying to save money instead of like going out and shopping like you typically would, or just buying things and doing stuff like need. I mean, I do see here you're gonna be buying things that you need, but you're really trying to spend money. Not spend money, but you're really working hard on saving your money. All right. And I feel like here you might be holding in a lot of feelings this weekend, because you might not be able to spend money the way that you want to because you're too busy saving money, and that might be irritating you in some way, shape, or form. All right. But I feel like here your emotions are kind of like up and down. All right. We got the Sun card here. So you might just be feeling like very like, I just see here, Libra, you might just be in one of your moods where you just feel like you don't want to really be dealing with too many people or talking too much and just being in your feelings, but it's up and down. Like might be one moment where you're fine and the next moment you're not, because you're thinking about like things that are like you're moving right, you're doing right. But I feel like it's just the energy that's, because we got the Moon card here. It might just be the energy is conflicting, and the energy is not going to be the best of your favor with emotions this weekend when it comes to the full moon and the eclipse. That's what I mean. All right. I feel like maybe with the Libras all in all, because of the lunar eclipse and the full moon going on, it's going to hit your sign a little bit more possibly when it comes to, I don't know why. I'm seeing here that some of you might have water in your chart possibly, or maybe it's just because I do see here you might have water in your chart, and maybe that's probably why that you might be feeling a little imbalanced with your feelings this weekend. All right. You might be thinking about things that are already dealt with, but pondering on it weirdly. Stop. All right. What's the advice for Libra? What's the advice for Libra? Like, there's nothing really wrong with you, Libra. You just being like, I don't know, stubborn. That's what you doing. You being stubborn towards yourself this weekend. All right, Libras. Apollo could not resist himself. He wanted to sit on my lap. Sit down. All right. Make yourself comfortable. What's the advice for Libra for this weekend? Oh, okay. What's the advice? Listen. Stop having fears in regards to something that's not necessary, Libra. You guys get in these weird, you're going to be in this weird, funky mood where you happy, sad, pondering about things. It's the energy, all right? It's, stop. You're going to have fears in regards to what? Your own shadow this weekend? Cut it out. All right. Somebody's going to have fears in regards to something silly. All right. Scorpio. What are you to expect for this weekend for the full moon and eclipse energy? What are you to expect? What are you doing, cutie? He wants me to pet him. All right, Apollo. What is Scorpio to expect this full moon? What is Scorpio to expect this full moon and eclipse? That one wanted to come. Somebody's going to be reaching out to you, Scorpio. Listen, so you guys got a fire sign that, or an air sign that wants to reach out to you. All right? They're having some type of regret, but I feel like here it's fear. They're dealing with their own shadows this weekend, and I feel like it's in regards to something here. Somebody was trying, listen, you guys, it's in regards to knowing something, but not saying something. And it has to be in regards to a fire sign possibly that was trying to control you, Scorpio. Your message is very clear this weekend. That's why I'm knowing everything right away. This was a very clear, like, message. All right. With the Nine of Pentacles here, you're gonna be you might be working this weekend, but I see here you're gonna be focusing on your own self-worth. All right. And be careful with your money, because I see here somebody is living beyond their means. All right. Which I get it, Scorpio. Okay. Listen, we, as fast as we get money, we know how to blow it, but we also know how to save. So this weekend, just be careful with your money. All right. Just be careful. But regardless, you guys are dealing with something. Somebody has a secret here. It's a secret that you possibly already know, though. All right. And somebody wants to reach out to you in regards to some, like a fire sign, like knowing something about somebody possibly, or maybe they did something. All right. Why does this person want to reach out? And who, like, you guys, they're dealing with somebody here that possibly controlled you at one point in time. But I see here somebody is holding in a secret and they want to reach out to you in regards to something. Listen, what does this air sign want to reach out to the Scorpio for? It's definitely in regards to somebody you know. It's in regards to somebody you know, Scorpio. That like was trying to control you in some way, shape, or form in regards to something. And it has to do with your money, possibly. Or maybe with maybe because you are trying to like focus on yourself, that they want to come in and try to control you. But there's somebody in the outside, an air sign, possibly a Gemini or somebody with Gemini placements, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a Gemini. It could be any air sign, because they all embody air. It could be a Libra or an Aquarius, wants to reach out to you. They have some type of secret, and they listen. What does this have to be in regards to? You're trying to rewrite your story at this time, and you're focusing on yourself. All right. You might have a crush. Somebody has a crush on you. This person wants to come forward because they're mentally conflicted. You have the mental declutter card here. All right. But however, what is the secret when it comes to this air sign? They have a secret. They want to complain about something. But I feel like you already know something about that nature. What is this person that wants to reach out that is... somebody here is holding a grudge towards you. Now my phone is acting weird. Doesn't want me getting the message out. Somebody here has a grudge towards you, Scorpio. And they know something about you here. Possibly like something personal. This is somebody here that's been watching you for a while. And this is somebody here that is, they might work for a higher up. We got a Congress card that came out. I feel like here you might be watched by several people possibly, but this person, maybe they work for the government. All right, you had the chosen being card come out as well. You might be somebody here that's very unique or special, or here for a purpose. They're holding a grudge towards you because I feel like here you are somebody here possibly that is very like unique. And this person sees that you're trying to rewrite your story and build a life for yourself. But we have somebody here that you may possibly know that knows that somebody's trying to mess around in your energy. I feel like it's definitely controlling behavior or control tactics. You may have just went through something, or maybe like you noticed that people that were in your life, this is a past energy coming back around to try to control your next move. You're seeing that, and there's an air sign that knows this, and they want to reach out to you. I don't know. Like, what's the advice on this, Spirit? What's the advice when it comes to this energy this weekend? I feel like here, Scorpio, you're going to be focusing on yourself and not even worried about this bullshit. All right? You're going to be worried about your own happiness. And if somebody has something to say, listen, they can come and say it. But I feel like, are they really going to come and say it, though? All right? What's the advice for Scorpio? What's the advice for my Scorpios? What's the advice? What's the advice? Listen, it says decisions. Don't be stuck on what decisions that people are making. with themselves. You stick and you worry about your own self this weekend, Scorpio. Because I feel like here, even if people are trying to come in with controlling behavior and tactics, focus on your own decisions and don't focus about nobody else. So technically, what I can say to this is that if you notice somebody trying to do controlling behavior, stalking you, being weird, or like fucking around in your energy, pay no mind to it. Continue doing what you do, because this person's going to be in for a rude awakening if they don't leave you alone. If you choose to not entertain the energy, just know that your blessings are going to continuously flow in anyways. All right? Water sign. Maybe this person has water placements, but I feel like here, this is you, Scorpio, focusing on yourself, because you know that somebody's going to try to do something weird. We got the alchemy ancestor guides. Your ancestors are going to be behind you this weekend due to people playing in your energy. Good luck to them. Anyways. Sagittarius. All right, Sag. What is this weekend looking like for you guys during the full moon and the lunar eclipse energy? Let's see. What's this weekend looking like for you guys? I had to open my door. I'm sorry, I'm a little late on this because it gets hot in my house. And the AC is in my room in the front of my apartment. So like it's just hot as hell where I am. All right, Sag. What is this weekend looking like for you guys? What is this weekend looking like for you guys? Let me get one more. We got the Wheel of Fortune and off center. Energy might be kind of iffy for you guys. All right. You guys are trying to listen, you guys are gonna have courage to go towards something. And you know it's gonna bring conflict, but I feel like you're gonna be avoiding the conflict because you don't care anymore. You do not care. Somebody here, there's a Sag that you're leaving the F's given. You're leaving, you don't care anymore. You put something up on the shelf to dust. Okay? You're going to have the power to do something that you should have done a long time ago. And you know it's going to bring conflict, but at this point in time, you're going to be avoiding conflict and you don't even care if it does bring conflict. Because either or, you're going to be ducking the conflict. Because whatever you're going to be doing, Sagittarius, it's going to be something that is going to be different with what you typically do. I think it has to do in regards to a person, Sagittarius. Possibly. All right? Or how you handle things. And with the Wheel of Fortune, depending on how you move this weekend is going to determine the outcome of like the full moon and lunar eclipse. I feel like here, like if you avoid conflict, you know that, right? Like you know it's going to bring you like good karma, dharma, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like here, if you don't learn to avoid, like if you are the conflict, you know that it could possibly be like bad luck for you in some way, shape, or form. And right now you're trying to break a pattern that's very toxic, possibly, because you know that people around you are very conflicted and in nothing but conflict. And this weekend, you don't want to deal with conflict. You're so over it. You might, listen, you got the memories card here. You might be stuck in your memories and you might be very nostalgic this weekend. Okay? But I see here that you're really trying to change. You might be trying to break a cycle this weekend that's really repetitive, and you're going to be going towards that. Okay? And your spirit guides are going to have your back, possibly, if you do the right thing. Now, if you're going to be out here acting silly, that's a different story. All right? Yours was pretty clear also. What's the advice for did I already do that? Listen, I'm getting kind of sleepy. You're trying to build a solid foundation for yourself, and you're realizing that maybe people that you've been around was stunting your growth in some way, shape, or form. You might be spying on somebody this weekend, or people might be spying on you due to you keeping to yourself and avoiding conflict, or maybe you are spying on somebody. You're either I think you're going through an awakening, or maybe you're looking at things differently. All right, what's the actual advice? What's the advice for Sagittarius? Just avoid this nonsense. Listen, focus on yourself this weekend, and listen, be strong. Stay strong this weekend, because I feel like here people might be trying to create drama, or people you might be. Don't go into the drama this weekend. All right, your best advice is to avoid the conflict. All right. Capricorn. What is this weekend looking like for you for the full moon and eclipse energy? What is this weekend looking like for the full moon and eclipse energy? It is so hot. My hair is like curling up. All right. What is Capricorn to expect this weekend? Let me get one more on the Seven of Cups. Let me get one more. You guys are all over the place this weekend, Capricorn. I'm sorry. Because yours not, listen. I'm only saying that because I'm not able, like, typically so a message like this would be very easy for me to convey. However, okay, so you got the Chariot and the Upright, okay? You're trying to stay in control of something, and I feel like here it might be in regards to are you guys trying to have some type of control over some type of an illusion that you created? Capricorn. But however, I'm getting another message here, but I'm just going to go with this one. Okay, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. It's not going to resonate with somebody. You're trying to have control over a certain direction. All right. It might be in regards to a certain person, possibly. But it has to do with some type of, you're trying to control something. It might be a narrative, possibly, that is false. I don't know. Some way, shape, or form, there's an illusion here with the Seven of Cups. All right. This full moon and eclipse energy is going to have you just make sure that you're not the one creating the illusion for yourself. I see here Capricorn that might be possibly creating their own illusion, because you're stuck in regards to some type of narrative that possibly might not be actually true because of an illusion. Okay? You're going to be working this weekend and really like doing things. All right? You're really going to be working on ways to make for money and make an investment. You might be this has to do in regards to work with the Seven of Pentacles. You might be working this weekend, or like just doing something that focuses on money. All right? Because you're trying to make it more stable, possibly for yourself and maybe your family. Okay? However, with the Nine of Wands, somebody here is going to be overwhelmed, and I feel like this might not even be your energy. You got to be careful this weekend, Capricorn, because I feel like here you might be dealing with a Taurus, or maybe somebody here like a fire sign. It's either a fire sign or a Taurus that's going to make you feel very overwhelmed with your decisions. And I feel like with the decisions, it's going to make you feel conflicted, because you're dealing with some type of an illusion on top of trying to make money and doing all these things where you don't even know what's really going on. So please, make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself, and make sure that the energy that you are feeling and around is your energy and not somebody else's. I feel like here you might be around people or feeling other people's energy that's not yours. So learn to know the difference between yours and somebody else, because I feel here your brain is going to be very like weird this weekend, where it's like You're not going to be making clear decisions. I don't know. Somebody here might not. You might. It depends on if you are able to notice the difference between yours and somebody else's energy. Because somebody here is going to like be very exhausted. But I don't know if it's, I don't think it's going to be yours. I don't think it's going to be you that's going to be exhausted. It's going to be somebody else. All right. What is, also, you guys might be feeling rejected by somebody this weekend. And that could also be why you might be feeling a little off some way, shape, or form due to something from the past. Somebody also wants to speak truth to you, Capricorn. I feel like with somebody coming forward to speak truth to you is definitely going to bring conflict. You might be dealing with conflict this weekend. All right? Just be careful, because I feel like here, like, you there might be, I feel like this might not even be you really, Capricorn, but also be careful because there's an illusion here over this weekend. So you got to know the difference on what's actually going on, and I feel like you might be creating your own conflict possibly with something that's not even there. All right, what's the advice with Capricorn? Yours is kind of all over the place. I'm going to do Taurus and Capricorn reads this weekend, because y'all's was a little like iffy. The energy was a little iffy with your reads, and I feel like because it's a little iffy with your reads where I'm not really able to get like a clear message, I gotta do a thorough like message for you guys possibly on this energy. All right, the advice is, listen, stop having doubts when it comes to your intuition and knowing the difference on actually what's going on. You have the lack and doubts card. Somebody here is doubting their own intuition or their own energy possibly. Like, you're very conflicted on what's going on this weekend. Like, oh, is it like somebody here? I don't know. I'm getting a weird story here where somebody here is mentally battling their own thoughts. You're confused about some type of an illusion possibly. But you might be the one that's actually creating the illusion here, Capricorn. And I don't... Be careful, because we have the full moon and the eclipse, and you got to be careful about your thoughts, because our thoughts can become our reality. You understand? So I need you, because you might be underneath some type of an illusion. If somebody's trying to cast an illusion over you, you got to be able to know the difference. Or if you're pondering on something possibly, be careful, because you're easily able to manifest this weekend. You might be manifesting your own illusion. That's what I'm getting here, Capricorn heavy. I gotta go with my intuition here. You might be manifesting your own fucking illusion. Be careful. Be careful. All right? There's the energy is kind of iffy though, and I think that's probably why. Possibly. All right, this message may or may not resonate, so please do not ponder on it if that is true, or if that is like something here that could possibly be it. All right, let's do Aquarius. You guys might be reaching. Listen, if I get this card one more time. We got the Nine of Swords. You guys are really like scared. Are you scared of something? You guys are worried and scared in regards to something here. Why? I think it has to do with a water sign. You guys are like worried about somebody here, possibly. Somebody here that's really taking care of themselves and healing. And you see somebody healing, and I feel like it's bringing you a lot of fear. Because this better not be you, Aquarius, that you are getting a resentment. Because this is one of your cards. You got the Five of Swords here. Where you're getting, like, you want to make amends with somebody here. But I also fear, you might be, you are, because I said fear. Going off of that. You are having fear when it comes to a water sign because you see that they are healing. And I feel like you are like a light bulb is going off in your brain when it comes to something. You do want, I feel like here, you may have been holding a grudge over something from the past. This is past resentment over something that happened in the past, but you may have been the cause of that, Aquarius. Listen, how are you going to get it? This, it was in regards to some type of an illusion, possibly here. Or maybe your personal values did not align up with somebody here at the time. And I feel like here now, like a light bulb went off possibly, where now that resentment, like you don't want to have this resentment anymore. But also you have a fear of moving on. I feel like it's in fear in regards to moving on, because I don't know, you're feeling, you feel very overwhelmed during this full moon and goddamn eclipse. You're thinking about things from the past, and I feel like here you want to have amends with somebody here, but you also have resentment towards that. The resentment is turning into something that's nasty. You're tired of carrying that around. And I feel like here it's either you or somebody else possibly is holding a secret, or I don't know. It's not giving secret though. It's giving a lot of fear and worry. That may be your energy or somebody else's. But I also see here with the Seven of Cups, there's some type of an illusion possibly here, or confusion. It's the energy, Aquarius. Your read is just like Taurus, Capricorn, and yeah. Where it's not, like, it's clear, but it's not clear. And the reason why it's not clear is because there's an imbalance within the energy. The energy is a little iffy and it's a little off. Make sure that the feelings that you're feeling is not somebody else's, Aquarius. That's all I gotta say here. Because I feel like here, like, it may not even be, I feel like it is your feelings. However, it might be heightened more. Your feelings are going a little bit more heightened. You're going to be more sensitive this weekend, and you're going to be more irritable. Just be careful to know what's your energy and your feelings compared to somebody else's, all right? That's what I have to say. That's my advice, but let's see what else. What else for my Aquariuses? Ugh. Listen, Spirit wants you to work on your inner healing so that way you don't have resentment towards other people or like fear. But I see here you might have some resentment towards somebody, but you also want to like you want to mend something, like want to have amends with some type of situation. But listen, you need to heal yourself first or start your healing process before you can go towards this person, because this person is really working on themselves. And I feel like maybe here you weren't expecting that. I don't know. I'm getting another weird message. Okay. Pisces. Last but not least. Pisces. What are you to expect this full moon and eclipse this weekend? What are you to expect? Jeez, that thing came off in the off center. What is Pisces to expect? Listen, this came in the off center. You guys got the Eight of Cups in the off center. Listen. You might be leaving behind a situation or feeling... I feel like you might be leaving something behind. And it definitely has to be in regards to love. All right? This may be a past situation that you're just leaving. You're leaving it alone, possibly. That's what I'm getting here. I feel like with the Eight of Cups, with this person walking away, it's coming in the off center. But I feel like you're going to make a decision. This has been a decision that you possibly been trying to work on for some time. And finally, with this full moon and eclipse, you're going to have the momentum to be able to dash out of whatever weird energy. I feel like it's an energy possibly that's been lingering for a while. And you're going to have the momentum this weekend because you're going to be meditating. I see here somebody's going to have a real, you're going to be more connected with yourself, and you're going to be contemplating on the decision, but you're also going to be thinking and meditating and doing all this type of things to gain clarity. You're going to have the clarity to walk away because you know that if you don't do this, that it could possibly put you in a financial loss but I don't even think it has to do with financial loss. This is spiritual poverty. All right, where You feel like if you don't do the right thing, that the Most High or your ancestors are going to take something away from you. I don't know where I'm getting like, listen, if you don't cut, now that's you, Pisces, being stuck in your own head thinking like that. But I feel like here, this is more on a spiritual level this is more on a spiritual level, the way you got to look at this, Pisces. I don't know if I'm making sense here. I feel like I'm either going to make sense of some or not make sense of some. Yeah, Pisces. I feel like you're going to be a little confused. Like, at first you're going to be confused, but I feel like this is something here that it kind of resonates from last week's message. Like, it kind of goes in cahoots with last week's message where you were really contemplating, and I feel like you're going to make a decision this weekend to cut something off that has to do with some type of energy or, like, person. It has to do with love, though. This might be something that is tied to love, but it's more spiritual, I feel. And I feel like it came in me off center because it's something that you've been pondering about for a little bit of time. And I feel like you've made a decision to leave it alone. And you're going to be really connecting with yourself and source this weekend, where you're going to be able to have a clear thought to make a decision. And this decision, if you go through with walking away, possibly, that it's going to provide it's going to provide you like more blessings. But if you don't, you also are aware. You're somebody that is aware that it could bring you lack, financial lack, and it could be spiritually or like in the material world as well. So already. I'm talking to a Pisces that knows. You're going to know, all right? So you're going to try to release this energy possibly this weekend during the full moon. And you're going to be really meditating it off and doing what you can to make decisions for your future. And you know that you got to do the right thing, because any wrong move at this point could really hinder your future in some way, shape, or form. But this has to do spiritually. This is not something here that's in the material. What's the advice? It's very similar. Listen, you got the cycles, change, and completions card. The advice is to break the cycle. You know a cycle needs to be broken, though, Pisces. I don't need to be the one to tell you this. I'm just here to confirm. You know you need to break a cycle. You know that staying in the cycle is going to hinder you spiritually. Pisces, you're getting it. Anyways, if it does resonate, guys, please like, subscribe, or comment on my videos. These are short messages, but listen, I'm going to do Capricorn and Taurus, and what is the other one? Aquarius, possibly, this weekend. All right, peace out.